Welcome to the Dawg Chug, Roger and Ed. How's it going tonight?
Ed, how's it going with you? You're going to start? Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, it's going real well. My daughter's graduating high school. My son's graduating 8th grade. Whatever graduation. We won't get into that and what's ruining America. But father-in-law's in town, and shout out to Terry, big fan of Roger. Yes, this one's for you, Terry.
Terry's a big fan of elders that bully people on social media.
I do.
I'm going to say no. Is that the
Wow. I have a little bit of graduation news. My daughter graduated preschool today. That was pretty wild.
Wow. Congratulations to Krista. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So exciting times. Roger, how many kids? You've got a lot. How many are graduating?
Well, Dawson's graduating 8th grade. I guess that's a graduation. He's going into, his freshman year. He's playing freshman ball. Jack the Chooch wrapped up 3rd grade tomorrow. They get out early. Tomorrow's the last day. And he's moving on to 4th grade, man. And Henry, he's only 4. He's just here terrorizing us. So,
all right. Well, to all the other parents out there that have kids graduating, congrats! Very exciting.
Congrats to the kids.
Now they're going to be home all summer, which kind of fucking sucks.
Well,
but you got to deal with it. So.
Right. Our partner Ross tonight, he's taking the night off because tomorrow he's going to go in and he volunteers and he's going to teach a class, I guess, of 3rd graders. So Ross giving back to the community. He didn't want to go in hungover. So you got to applaud that effort. Yeah.
Do they have
I call him a quitter, but
in elementary school? Do they have that? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I thought maybe he's doing community service. He got popped for something.
Maybe. Who knows? Personal plea out there. I'm stuck at 3,299 Twitter followers. So if anyone could follow me so I can get to 3,300, I'd appreciate it. Every time I get 100, I send it to Nick Carnes. It's been 3 months since I sent one. So let's get me over the top here.
And if I unfollow you, will that work?
I mean, I'll still be stuck at 3,299, but I won't know because I have you blocked, actually.
Let's get you over before the show's over.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of people that watch this show that don't follow me. So just please go follow Catalina Manchmixer. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, let's get us started. Let's go to the Dawg Chug updates. Let me hit the button here. We have no producer Ross, so I got to do all the manual work here. Also, I think I'm the one that gets us started tonight. All right. The NFL has announced that the 2026 NFL Draft will be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, Roger Goodell confirmed the move was in part because of the money the NFL saves hosting all its people for the event in the city's bum-ass hotels, but he would not confirm how expensive it will be to supply everyone that goes with gas masks to combat the body odor from the Pittsburgh natives. Great read.
Yikes. Many fans have called for the kicker of the Kansas City Chiefs, Harrison Butker, to be released after he shared his opinions at a private Christian commencement speech. But the NFL has responded by saying it values the diversity of thoughts from its thousands of players. And you know what? I agree. I applaud Harrison for having the courage to share his opinions, even if they're not considered popular. His bravery also makes me feel a little bit of shame for myself because I always avoid sharing my own conservative beliefs on social media. Like I'm from Switzerland. And God damn you, Andy, for making me read this. I probably should have pre-read this.
That would have been a good idea. I would never read anything that I wrote.
Yeah.
All right. Here in Browns news, despite not throwing in media sessions during OTAs, Kevin Stefanski assured everyone that Deshaun Watson looked like himself. He even added that when Kevin's wife ran back inside to get her purse, Watson handed it to her, staring at her with those creepy dead eyes, and she felt extremely uncomfortable. Ladies and gentlemen, our QB1 is back.
Yes. All right. And now I think we have Edward doing the top 10.
That's right. And this top 10 is inspired by our own Donovan Mitchell, who made a post the other day stating that fans in Cleveland should cheer for one Francisco Lindor when he came back to Progressive Field. And I kind of disagreed with that, but we'll go into that later. But this top 10 is the top 10 Cleveland athletes you should boo. At number 10, Baker Mayfield. The only thing dangerous was Baker on Christmas Day in Green Bay? I remember those 4 interceptions. Number 9, Frankie Lindor. Yeah, we're lazy on the Dawg Chug. Francisco. Number 8, LeBron James. For God's sake, he left us twice, Cleveland. He left us twice. Number 7, Kyrie Irving. If the world was flat, some Cavs fans would definitely push him off. Get it. Number 6, Kellen Winslow Jr. Why boo? He ain't getting out of jail anytime soon. That sick bastard. Number 5, Johnny Manziel. Boo him, but then go booze with him, win or lose. Number 4, Brandon Whedon. Probably won't hear you. Isn't he older than Joe Biden? Number 3, Nick Swisher. Brohio. Enough said. Number 2, Brian Sipe. Throw it in the fucking lake, moron. And the number 1 Cleveland athlete you should boo is Hugh Jackson. Not an athlete, but that motherfucker deserves all the boos.
Wow.
Look
at that.
Yeah, Hugh Jackson.
Ed, I just want to say great job, but
I'm more worried about my reading tonight. I feel like I'm, becoming you guys, and it's not going good with the reading. The topics were fine. I think the reading needs some ed school.
All right, now I think we have a little special surprise. Roger, you prepared something, didn't you?
Yeah, you know what? Ed does the top 10s now, and I got to come up with something. So I went back and I dug into where when MySpace in 2007 a little bit I used to do, and this is Roger First Chicago Bulls with break first news. The NBA is up in Rudy Gobert's pockets, taking 75 large with another violation for indicating refs are taking bribes from gamblers. Gobert once again made the money sign after calling foul by longtime NBA official Scott Foster. Foster's lawyers claim he's innocent and blame his translator. Donovan Mitchell came out of social media in support of Francisco Lindor's first visit back to the CLE, asking fans not to boo the New York shortstop and show him some love. Later, when hearing about the show's support, Lindor promised to reach out to Mitchell when he gets up from his nap. And finally, the Cleveland Guardians and their first-year skipper are flying high at 16 games over 500. They're tied with the Yankees as the best team in the AL, all leading to a lot of early whispers that the Guards' rookie manager is early odds-on favorite for Manager of the Year. If you ask this social media influencer, Steven's got my vote. And this is Roger First in Cuyahoga Falls for Break First News.
Wow.
Ow.
That was good.
Wow. Andy, you got to get my opinion on this. Obviously, I know everybody's all dying out there, but I just want to say this. The best form of flattery is imitation. Roger, a spinoff, break first news. That was awesome. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, 2024 is going to be about fun, sir. And that was all about the fun. And Andy, you know what? Hey, break first news. Hey, new segment. I'm all for it.
I think it should be a thing. I think you should dance a little bit more though when you do it.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't talk as fast as you. I tried to read. Can't do it.
And I think you should chug Mountain Dew while you do that. You got to do that.
It probably would help.
It's a great bit. Good job. Yeah, I love that. Okay. And that's the Dawg Chug update. So now you guys all know what's going on. Had some laughs. What a great show. And we're going to continue greatness because we've got a great guest. I think this is who holds the title for most appearances on the Dawg Chug. We like to get the female voice on the Dawg Chug, and pretty much the only female that'll come on anymore. We love her. She's awesome. She's got great takes. So welcome back to the Dawg Chug, Jessica.
What's up, guys? Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
Great. I'm great. How are you guys doing?
I just heard some wonderful news that you might be gracing us with your presence in Cleveland coming up here this summer. So I'm super excited.
That's correct. That. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Have a my fifth year class reunion is this year. So been 5 years since I've been out of high school. So I'll be going for that. So that's pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah, only 5 years.
Good for you.
I would have thought you were still in high school. So that's awesome.
I know.
Right.
I know.
I thought you were coming in for prom.
Well, actually, I'm graduating from high school this year. So that's kind of what's going on.
So we have kind of an interesting offseason. Seems like Browns are a little more muted than we've been in a while, which is probably a good thing. Let's not focus too much on them.
Right.
Yes, OTAs are heating up. Maybe they'll start things going. But right now, it's not a lot of Browns talk out there. We got this amazing Guardians team. I know in Oklahoma, it's probably tough to watch them too much. So how are you following them? How are you enjoying them? What's your Guardians experience been?
Well, I have, not to plug a certain phone provider, but I have T-Mobile, and you get MLB TV for free with T-Mobile.
Oh my God.
So I'm able to catch every game, actually,
Wow.
that I want to. So I haven't been able to catch all of them, but I have notifications on my phone, and I hate notifications, but I have them all on there for scoring plays for the Guardians. So I get like the final scores and all that. And sometimes I can listen to it when I'm working. Baseball is one of those sports where you can listen to it while you're doing other stuff. You don't have to watch baseball the whole time. So
if you don't like notifications bothering you throughout your day, last year would have been the perfect season to be a Guardians fan on your phone because they didn't score a lot of runs. So you wouldn't have. But this year you must be very annoyed because
there's a lot of notifications. I can't believe how many home runs they've hit this year. It's pretty ridiculous in a good way. So it's been good.
What's more annoying for you, your notification on your phone or my retweets?
Ooh, that's tough.
I'm going to that retweet.
Is it the retweets or is it the posting posts in every single chat we're in together on Twitter?
That's a whole separate category.
You specifically sent the Dawg Chug tweet to the tweet we have or the chat we have together, as if I didn't know I was going to be on today. Like I needed to retweet it off of the tweet today. Like really, dude?
And then he tags you in the tweet. It's not like you're not tagged in the tweet. So there's three ways to get you.
Just in case there's a breakdown, I want everybody to be on the same page.
Well, the good news is you didn't text it. So I mean, there's good things about that too. So
hey,
get it that way.
Thank you. You've improved the system, and now text will be coming every Wednesday.
Good.
Well, you actually got snail mail on the way. In about 2 days, you're going to get a letter from Roger stating that you're going to be on the Dawg Chug tonight. So.
And I got subscribed to the Dawg Chug newsletter, which will also be showing up weekly. So I appreciate that.
Oh, boy.
That's why you don't have my email address.
It's good. It's a good move.
Safe move.
Very safe. So, and then the Cavs have their off season coming. We finally got eliminated. Were you following the playoffs?
I was not following them. Aside from like people retweeting things, I saw stuff because a lot of people that I follow on Twitter obviously also follow the Cavs because they follow the Browns and the Guardians. So I saw things like that, but I didn't really super follow it. It sounded like they kind of fell apart at the end, which is disappointing. But at the same time, we're kind of used to that as Cleveland fans. It's falling apart at the end.
They were very
frustrating, but that's what it is. Yeah.
That's why this Guardian season just is so strange. Like teams never kind of come out of the gates like surpassing expectations. That doesn't happen very often in this town.
I know, it's very exciting. They've been a very exciting team though. For the past couple of years, it's been really fun to listen to them. I mean, I can watch it too. I can't always watch it though, but I enjoy watching it as well. Sunday afternoons are probably my favorite time to watch a baseball game. It's probably my favorite time, and I force my kid to watch it with me.
Does Freddie allow you to watch the Guardians?
Sometimes.
Because Kristen will never let me.
Sometimes it depends. He really likes if I watch it when it's like bedtime. He's like, "Yeah, Mom, I'll watch it with you." I'm like, "I'm sure you will. Good night." Good night.
Yep. Ready to watch. Yeah.
But Sundays, I'm like, Sundays are my day for that. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch some baseball. I enjoy it a lot.
We're talking about kids, graduation. Where's Freddie moving on to? Give us a little bit.
He's moving on to third grade.
Wow.
Third grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. He was
Yeah. He's getting pretty big. He's a big kid. I can't believe it. He's actually almost 5 feet tall already, which is also ridiculous because he's 7.
Wow.
So
taller than Ed?
Yeah, I got him by a hair. I think I got him by a hair still.
Yeah, I don't know. He's pretty tall already. So I don't know. He's doing really well in school. He does swimming, piano. Like he's a Make him
Wow.
all around.
Third grade's a big grade. Andy, I want to do a spit, sip, chug real quick. If you remember your third grade teacher, say their name and chug. Mrs. Moskal, third grade, Spruce Elementary, North Olmsted, Ohio. Shout out to you if you're still alive.
You don't want to hear my.
I'm
you
also
don't wanna
sure
hear
she's
my-
watching.
I doubt
She's,
it. Well, you
She's
never know.
actually in the Witness Protection Agency because the whole teaching ed thing freaked her out really bad.
Well, I have Mrs. Vince, but I had her in 3rd grade and 5th grade.
Okay.
Wow.
Andy, your
So,
third grade teacher,
yeah,
remember her
I
name?
could chug, I guess.
I do not.
You don't, how do you not remember your teacher's names?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, you should be like, that's one of the things.
Elementary should be a little easier. High school, I can see not remembered everybody.
Yeah, because
Elementary
they're different.
school.
But I think elementary,
Yeah.
you should. Yeah, like that's formative years, Andy. Formative years.
Well-
maybe he lost it on his last chug. Maybe he had it.
Maybe you gambled with them at some point in your life, and some, who knows?
The
Maybe.
mystery continues. I remember my 1st grade very well. Do not
Okay.
remember 3rd grade. It's just probably forgettable.
Roger, your third grade teacher. Do you remember their name?
I asked her to marry me. I went to Catholic school, so I had a nun in 1st grade and a nun in 2nd grade. 3rd grade with Miss Mark, and she wore Jean Naté body splash. I bought her some for Christmas because she said that's what she wore. I asked her to marry me, and I'd pretend I didn't know stuff. I'd raise my hand so she'd come over and lean in, and I could smell her. I was in 3rd grade.
Roger with the game, even back in third.
It's really weird to me Roger would have a detailed story for that. It seems so not a Roger thing to do.
Well, he was a different guy. back then.
Yeah.
I still remember. I think she's 92 now.
Oh.
Before those boys entered his life, he was a
Whoa.
Hey, and then it was nuns that beat the shit out of me every year after that. So you're going to remember Miss Martin. It smelled like Gina Che after the nuns beat your ass for 6 more years.
The great Sherry's out there. She said that she's so
Sherry.
excited you're on that she muted her hockey game.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
It's a big deal. I know she loves her hockey, her Florida hockey.
She does love her Florida hockey.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we got some great spit, sip, chug questions, statements, not questions, to foster some good conversation here. So let's get started. Roger, I'm going to let the great Jessica decide if you can sip today.
No sipping.
No sipping. She announced.
No, I'm looking for strong
Yeah,
opinions today, Roger. Strong opinions.
Oh, all right.
All right. We're also going to start with you, Roger, as we often do. So entering this offseason, the Cavs are closer to a championship than they were entering last year's offseason.
That's not me.
It's on you.
Yeah, I'm going to chug. I'm going to chug because I think the core of this team, being Mobley and Garland, and I think that just gives them more experience. I think that more playoff. They went deeper into playoffs. It's more experience. They're young players. They're really not going anywhere. So yeah, I think that it got them closer, a step closer. They need to, some pieces. I think they do need to make a change at coach. But I think it got them a step closer. Maybe they figured that out. That's what they found out, and that might have got them a step closer. So,
wow. The great Mike Crutchfield's out there. He's late to the party. He's taking a break from the Survivor finale. This show is so good that he's not going to watch a reality TV.
Oh, Andy, I got to the Survivor finale's on. Guys, bye. Peace out. I got to go. Oh, my God. Sorry. I did not realize.
oh, shit.
Yeah,
I just
damn.
found out it was
Wow.
on today, and I apparently need to binge it because I haven't watched it all season. So
Honestly, this is the best.
did
probably
Roger go to
watching
watch
it.
Survivor?
Yeah, I don't blame him.
He just left.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Here, let's bring it back on. This has been the best season of Survivor we've ever had, I think. I mean, I'll make that statement. It's been fantastic. So the fact that Crutch is pausing that to watch a couple minutes of this, that means everything. Thank you, Crutch. All right, so you chugged. It's on me. Look,
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to say, first of all, that I applaud that the Cavs aren't like making harsh, crazy, like pushing buttons, like overreacting to, the season did not go well down the stretch. So I'm glad that they're showing a little bit of restraint, but I'm obviously spitting on this. I'm not totally like thinking the Cavs are going to implode or anything like that, but last year I had a lot of hope and belief that this core was going to grow. This year I still am holding on to a little bit of that, a glimmer of that, but there's a lot more question marks than there were last year. I'm not sure the team works as currently configured. I don't know where the trades are going to come from. And they don't really have a lot of parts to move. If they give up talent, they're not probably going to get like the greatest returns, I would imagine. So we'll see how they do. We'll see how Kobe Altman does if he continues managing the Cleveland Cavaliers. But I'm not definitely not as optimistic as I was. So I'm easy spit for me. Ed.
Damn. Wow. Won't be hard to beat that gloom and doom, Andy. I think you must have been old Ed, but this new Ed 2024 fun Ed here. Let's talk about this. Every day they are closer to winning a championship. Because here's the deal. If they don't win it next year, you keep every day that you get closer to it. So even this year, they weren't going to win it this year. So now they are technically in this time-space continuum every day closer to winning that championship. It may be, 2100, the year 2100 or whatever like that. But every day they get closer. So I got to chug on that. And you know what? Enjoy your Cleveland Cavaliers because every day they're getting closer to their championship.
Okay, now while that's technically true, the question isn't so much are they one day closer to the day they inevitably win. It's are they getting closer to winning?
Well, I'll make it easier for you because you were so gloom and doom. I want to take your answer, and I just want to basically say the opposite. Were they going to get stuff for their trades? I don't know. I think Jared Allen's worth something. I think they got some pieces. Darius going, look, maybe they're not going to get exactly what they're going to get, but nobody in the NBA gets exactly what they're going to get for what they can deem superstar players. But yeah, they're close. They got pieces. As long as you keep Mitchell and Mobley, everybody else is replaceable. I don't know, Andy. You paint this picture, and it's just like, I don't know. It's so un-Ed-like in 2024. So I passed my mic over to Jessica.
All right, Jessica. I know Cavs ain't your thing, but this will be the final Cavs question, I promise. Statement.
Well, I rarely agree with Ed, but I was also going for the smart-ass answer. So he took my smart-ass answer. Because when did they win last time? 2016?
Yes.
So it's been, what, like
8 years?
8 years. So technically, I mean, as long as they win within the next 8 years, yes.
Yeah.
They are closer now.
All right.
But I don't know. I hear so many good things, and then all of a sudden I hear that Mitchell is the best player on the team, and he's the only one doing anything. So it's hard to have only one really good player, if that's accurate for what I see in tweets, which, much like Brown's Twitter, Cavs Twitter is probably the only real microcosm of the whole fan base. So they're probably the only people who know anything. So
very true.
Donovan Mitchell is probably the only player that's good on the team. So,
well done, Jessica. It'll be an interesting offseason for sure. We'll see what they do. A lot of moving parts. We're just going to have to be patient, and you can tune in to Dawg Chug to get our take on what's happening. Today, Zadarius Smith at OTAs said that he returned to the Cleveland Browns because of the chemistry on the team and that he believes we're building something special. The statement is, this is complete nonsense, and the truth is he didn't have any other suitors, which is why he's back in the Browns. I'm going to spit on this. Zadarius had a very good year last year. He might not have had like the sacks, but I think like the advanced metrics that he was causing a lot of disruption. That's what you want out of your defensive ends. He signed with the Browns 2 hours into free agency. So it wasn't like he was sitting there waiting to see what came in and then said, guess I'll go back to the stupid Browns. And the defense was awesome last year. I think he had a lot of fun. All the guys seemed like they had fun. I think he wants round 2. He's back. I'm excited he's back, and I think that's a good thing. So I spit on that one, Ed.
I think the nature of the question, only because it involves athletes and money, that you have to sip on it, because I do agree with your premise that I think the fact that he is really, really excited to be back in Cleveland. He does believe in the chemistry. Look at the defense last year. Fortunately, the defense didn't travel on the road, but we won't mention the 30 points they gave up on the road and only 10 points at home. We won't mention that. Strike that from the record, Andy. But no, this defense is really good. I think thank you. I think Zadarius wanted to be a part of it, but also here's the thing: when you talk about suitors and stuff like that, if there was a team out there that would have gave him considerably more money, then obviously he would have went there. And I don't know, maybe I'm sure his agent was talking up to teams before that 2-hour window that he signed in free agency. They're always talking. So he kind of had an inkling. I know that's a deadline that you have to make that statement, hold true to, but that's why you have to sip on it. Plus my mouth's a little dry and I didn't want to spit, but I do agree with you, Andy.
All right. Well done, Ed. Jessica.
I'm going to spit on it. I don't do the spitting thing, really. I'm terrible at it. Andy can spit for me if everyone's that concerned about it. Thanks, Andy. So spitting on it because I do think the Browns had a very special defense last year. And how can you not, in my opinion, try to stick it out at least one more year to see if you can make it? I am concerned, though, because he cut his hair. Was that his special sauce? Was that how he played so well? Was it his hair? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I was really happy that he was here last year. I think he was great, and I'm excited for him to be here again this year. So I think that the team is special. So not being a homer, they had a really good defense last year. So I'm excited to see it again this year.
All right. Roger.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you what, in the beginning, before the show today, I'm watching the news and I'm watching Jameis Winston practice throwing interceptions. And I'm like, the Guardians just fucking win, and they're the best. They're the second best team in the American League. They're the fourth best team in baseball. They're just everything about them, the numbers. And I'm watching Deshaun Watson throw shadow passes, and I want to puke. And I was going to answer any Browns question today with the Guardians stat, and they have a team ERA of 2.94. It's one of the best in baseball. It's not third, but I will tell you this: driving home from work, I heard I heard him on the news today, or I heard him on the radio. Za'Darius talking, and he said that number one, he's learning a new technique last year, and he started getting comfortable in the role, and he really thinks that he can give a lot more, just running free, like playing in this defense. I'm spitting on it, I guess, right? Because here's the thing: I think with anybody that plays in the front seven of the Cleveland Browns, even anywhere on the defense, is Myles Garrett draws all the attention. You want to play on the defensive line. Look, you want to play on that defensive line, because Myles Garrett's going to draw all the attention. I think it's a no-brainer for the comeback. He sounded excited. It was a little bit of football that got me a little bit pumped up because it was the defense. But after that, I'm good. We're going to go back to baseball stats.
All right.
For Browns questions.
All right. I ask about the Browns, and you talk a lot about the Guardians. I like it.
Okay. Mission accomplished.
Sherry's having a little trouble watching her hockey game, so.
Well, breaking news. It is 1-0 Florida over the Rangers. So technically they're still up. I don't know. Maybe there was a play. I'm not watching the game, obviously. But hey, 10 more minutes and you got to win, Sherry. So hang in there.
It's because a Panthers goal just got.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So they could have been up 2-0 probably. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. We're all thinking about you, Sherry. Hopefully your team does.
Thoughts and prayers. All
right. 10 more minutes. Just hold on.
Statement number 3. We're going to do this a little different. This one actually is a question. And then everyone's going to give their answer. And if we all agree, we're going to chug. If we disagree, you don't chug. So through the first 51 games of the season, the Guardians, they're 34-17 now. Who is your Guardians MVP through these first 51 games? Now, who you think it'll be at the end of the season? Ed?
Oh, wow. That's a great
go
question.
A lot of ways on this one.
Yeah. I think, going forward, and it's going to have to be this guy. And I'll give it to him. I'll say Jose Ramirez. We got his bobblehead the other day. It looks great in the City Connect jersey. But the 12 home runs, he's hitting home runs. He's back to Jose form. 45 RBIs tied for first. I don't know, 799 OPS. His average is, 258. But if he's hitting home runs like he is and getting RBIs and setting the tone for this club, then, and I think for the Guardian success moving forward, to to win the division. I think obviously, and I'll say this, okay, this is so Cleveland-like, and I shouldn't even say that. It's just so unfortunate for us that, we're kicking butt 33-17, but damn Kansas City Royals, could you stop winning? Like, talk about a team that comes out of nowhere. I mean, not only us, but the AL Central in general. We talked about maybe 86, 87 wins to win the division like back in 97 when they did it. But God, I think this division, you might gonna have to win the normal 92, 90 to 96 games to win a normal division. Yeah. And that's frustrating. But yeah, go ahead, brother.
No, with the Tigers too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're no. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned them. Yeah, I forgot about the Motor City Kitties. I mean, my gosh, this division stacked besides the White Sox. So that's my thing. Jose Ramirez has to be the guy. And I guess, I don't know if this was a statement or a question, Andy. You got me confused, but Jose Ramirez, and I'm chugging on him, whatever that means.
All right, I'll chug on that. Jose is great. Roger, Jess, if you agree with Ed, you should chug.
I'll chug again. I'm thirsty.
And I'm just going to add that it's interesting, even though Kansas City's on a tear, just like we've been lately. If you look at the odds to win the division, Guardians are a massive favorite. They're plus 100, bet 100, you win 100. The Twins are actually ahead of the Kansas City.
And they're wow. Okay.
So, yeah, the odds makers don't really think the Kansas City's going to be able to keep up the success that they have. They definitely think the Guardians will. It's kind of interesting. Jessica.
Well, I do want to say, talking about the Royals and stuff, it's annoying because we have a guy on my team who is a big Kansas City Royals fan. I can't talk shit if they're playing good. It's really annoying. And someone else I talked to is like a Dodgers fan. I'm like, come on, like, how am I supposed to talk crap if we're all playing really well this year? So irritating. But Jose Ramirez does seem like an easy choice. I'm not gonna lie, he's having a great year. He usually looks good. I'm gonna go for a couple of young guys. I think Tyler Freeman's looking really good, and David Fry's looking really good. So I mean, I don't know if they're gonna hold out, produce like Jose Ramirez, a good veteran, really does. But those guys are young and they're looking good, and it's very exciting to watch the younger guys really pulling their weight and doing some great hitting and stuff. It's really fun to see some offense too this year, especially with some of the, like, Quan is out. Like, I mean, he wasn't like a super batter or whatever. He was making plays in the outfield all the time. We're missing some of those guys that are injured, but some of these young guys are really stepping up, and I'm very happy with them. So those are my MVP type people currently, anyway.
Nice. I'm gonna chug on that. That's great.
I'm chugging on that. I'm chugging on the statement. And there's nothing I can add to that. There's one player that, to me, is probably the most. If I got to give him anything, is the most improved. Is Emmanuel Clase. I mean, best closer in baseball. What a turnaround from last year. They're putting the barrel on the ball at 3 times the rate as they did in 2022 against him. Whatever adjustments he made, whatever they've done with Emmanuel Clase, our bullpen's the best bullpen in baseball. You have a good bullpen, and that's the key, man. Because we all know baseball's what? Baseball's hard. And you better have a good bullpen. And we do. And that's always a question. You never know. You can have the top names in baseball in your bullpen. That doesn't mean it's going to be good. It's a fickle thing that just every year it's a roll of the dice. And thank goodness this year, right now. But you know what? Who my MVP is? And everybody you named, David Fry. Oh my God, against left. If you have a left-handed pitcher and you're going to play the Guardians, forget it, because right now we're slashing 303, 370, 483 against lefties. David Fry's killing left-handers. He's hitting like almost 500. Don't pitch a lefty against the Guardians. But my MVP is Stephen Vogt. We lost the best hitter in baseball. He was on pace for 240 hits. Stephen Kwan, our left fielder. We lose the best hitter in baseball, and we didn't miss a beat, man. And that takes a good manager, and he's a rookie. My MVP is Stephen Vogt right now. So far this year.
You're here. I'm chugging to that, Roger.
I mean, I put Hugh Jackson in my top 10, and he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, managers matter, and so do coaches.
This answer could go so many ways, and I have like 18 answers I could possibly name, but Roger unfortunately named all of them. in a roundabout way. So thank you, Roger. I totally agree, though. Like, I mean, this answer would have been a slam dunk, Quan. He was having such an amazing season. He was the catalyst of the team.
Yeah.
He gets knocked out for 4 to 6
Yeah.
weeks, and I mean they didn't miss a beat, which is just that's everything you need to know about this team. Completely agree. The answer should be the manager coming into just an impossible situation, replacing a Hall of Fame manager who has been here forever and just kept churning out great seasons. If anything, I don't think that we've ever had a hot start to a season under Francona.
Not like this. Yeah.
These guys
No
are
way.
I like this.
they're having fun. They're just the emotions you see on their faces as they're rounding the bases or making catches. I've just never seen a Cleveland team this tapped in, especially in their earlier part of the season. I love it. That's absolutely comes from your manager. He's just doing an amazing job. So he would be my answer, but Roger gave that one. So I'm just going to go with my favorite player on the team, and that's Naylor. He's been
how can you go wrong?
Off the ball.
Right.
I love everything about that man, and I believe he has a lot of he adds a lot of intangibles to the locker room that causes these guys to work their ass off. And anyway, it's every game is a treat to watch. So I think the MVP is the fans because we get to enjoy this shit. So please never miss. Act like you're Chuck. Watch every single pitch because it's this enjoyable. It's not always going to be this way. So just appreciate it while you have it. Go Guardians.
Chug into that. Also, too, about Naylor, which I think, you pointed it out, Andy, but he is that kind of like the heart and soul of the team because, the other day against the Twins when he flips it over to Emmanuel Clase and he drops the ball and then we have to go win it in the later innings or the bottom of the ninth or whatever like that. And then, the other day when he gets the ball, instead of flipping it to him, he just runs to first base. And, I'm saying it kind of broke the tension there. So, yeah, Naylor's a great pick, Andy.
Yvette said that she's not watching any baseball because she's still looking at the Browns schedule, and Roger just put her on his hit list.
Shout out to Bushi Sports. And you know what? My hat is inspired Compton Easy-E. Back in 1995, I went out. Aunt Karen will eventually have to get her on the show, but I went out and visited her in Los Angeles for a week. My mom and dad sent me out there, and I went to the Compton swap meet with my uncle. And he asked me, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to Dodger Stadium? Want to do this? Want to do that? Yeah. Then he's like, what else do you want to go? I said, the Compton swap meet. So we went in the daytime, of course, and got this hat. So representing them and Compton, Compton, Easy-E, rest in peace, home. And also, too, fun fact about Easy-E, he founded Bone Thugs and Harmony, Cleveland's, great rap group. If it wasn't for Easy-E, there would be no Bone Thugs and Harmony. So little Cleveland Connect right there. City Connect.
We used to drive to the Tijuana Taxi Club at Great Northern Boulevard, and we'd listen to Easy on the way.
Nice.
Rat-a-tat-tat and all the cops.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Also, Jamie points out that he's only awake because he has to vote for Lana. Everyone, please
do that. Yes.
Go.
Yes, vote for Lana.
She has a link on her account. Mrs. Stefanski, go vote for her. I think she's in first place right now.
She's in first place. Yeah,
in
man.
Group, yeah, for sure.
Every day on Facebook, you get a free vote. Today was double.
Vote for her. I do it every day because she did tell me she would murder me if I don't, and I'm very terrified of her.
She is Italian. So you gotta watch out for that.
Very scary. She's the scariest 4'6" person I've ever met in my entire life. Anyway, you're doing awesome, Lana, and we're gonna propel you to victory just like Cleveland propelled Peyton Hillis to the Madden cover.
Right.
Cleveland hasn't done many amazing things, but that might be up there top 5, right? I mean, getting a running back that no one knew who he was on the cover of Madden, that's unbelievable. Anyway, we're moving on to statement number 4. We're going to start with Sherry. Not Jerry. We're going to start with Jess.
She's here?
She is in the comments. She's saying, don't read that. Okay. I don't know what she's saying not to read. Anyway, Browns fans should be concerned that Deshaun Watson isn't throwing every day at OTAs. I think the coach said he's throwing every other day at this point.
I mean, I'm gonna spit on it because he's just doing whatever he wants anyway. So I mean, if he's throwing every day, throwing every other day, doesn't throw till the first game of the season, I really don't know what to say about it. Like, I mean, he's here. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna be concerned about? He's here for like 3 more years at least. So I mean, hopefully he's throwing somewhere, even if he's not throwing there. I don't know. Get a spit on it. That's what to be concerned about. He's not going anywhere anyway. So
All right. Roger.
I'm chugging.
Shocker.
what?
You guys know that the Guardians are on pace to steal 141 bases. And what the most impressive thing about this is that nobody on the roster has more than 3, and every position player has at least 1, except for Josh Naylor. You know what? I think the Browns fans should be more concerned that your quarterback's worried about what a fat plumber's got to say about him on social media than whether he's throwing the football, because that's the guy you're dependent on to win a championship for you. Next.
Mike Crutchfield weighs in that this is just load management, and maybe he should only play every other week so he can make it through the season.
I mean,
Crutch.
he's not wrong.
Crutch just earned some brownie points from Roger. All right. Do I care that he didn't throw today? No, I don't. I don't care at all. I mean, look, the Cleveland Browns are being hypersensitive about Deshaun Watson because he's a very sensitive guy, and maybe that's maybe we shouldn't have a quarterback that is so sensitive that he blocks Roger for making jokes, but he is our quarterback one. We gave him a big contract. He's here. So you got to manage the situation. And if that means you don't want the media writing stories about, I don't know, him throwing or his progress, or if you don't give him any material, then they kind of talk about Zadarius Smith. And I'm all for that right now. So ease him into the situation. Let's get this thing going. I don't really care. So I'm what am I doing? Am I spitting?
Yeah.
It should be concerned. I'm spitting. And then
I'm chugging.
Shocker.
I'm chugging. Here's the deal. If we can't watch Deshaun Watson every single day, not just every single day, every single hour, throw a little 5-yard pass, and everybody's like, he's back, and you watch all the cucks out there just loving it and living it up, and oh my God, our hero is back. And you know what? That's fine that he's throwing 5-yard passes and making mental reads and but he's got to be doing it every day, because I need new footage every day. And then everybody retweets it. Everybody puts it in the same tweet. It's the same. Your timeline is just filled with the same old cuckery. Oh my God, Super Bowl. Bro, it's the same old shit. And that's fine. That's called being a fanatic. As much as I'm banging on it, you know what? I go out and do stupid shit too. So I want to make a truce with all those cucks out there. I do dumb shit too. And you know what? Your dumb shit, it's just over the top. It just become more creative with it, because it's all essentially a timeline of the same old shit. Okay. And let's be real. It doesn't matter until the season starts when it actually has like people trying to tackle him, because any quarterback that's making $230 million should be able to throw a 5-yard spiral. Okay. But if you're going to lose your shit over it, hey, not my cup of tea, but that's what you want to do. I'm going to chug on my Mountain Dew.
All right. And by the way, the Browns did release, they tweeted a video of him throwing a 5-yard pass.
Yeah.
See,
they're cucks too. Those Browns.
Did you retweet it yet, or no? Not yet. Okay.
There is video of him taking mental reps. He is taking mental reps. He's standing there and he's pretending that he's throwing the football.
The player install.
There you have that. That made me feel good.
90% of the time we're complaining about the players that aren't here in OTAs. Now we're complaining that the guys that are here aren't doing enough. Cleveland,
we're a good team, Andy. That's what happens when you become good. You bitch about any little thing.
We're full of losers.
To be honest, I was thinking about that today. I was like, they showed what Judy, running down. And I was like, man, I remember when you couldn't get Odell Beckham. He dropped in town for about 3 minutes, and he jumped back on a plane, and he wasn't there. I was like, these guys are all here, So I got to give them that. And wasn't a peep out of Berea this whole offseason. Not one Browns player arrested. Not, other than Prince Rusty, over in Saudi Arabia. Other than that, there was nothing in the news about the Browns. So you got to love that being a Browns fan.
Agreed.
It was funny. I can't remember the names of players that weren't here for OTAs, but it was like Myles Garrett, Joe Batonio, someone else awesome, and then it was Elijah Moore, who had a pretty disappointing season, if we're being honest. And then they brought in Judy to basically replace him, and now he's not in OTAs. Like, dude, you better fucking put your all in here. We've been defending you. You had shitty quarterbacks your entire career. Browns quarterback situation was awful last year. That was probably not the best move.
That's why I show up every week, Andy. The same scenario you just laid out for Elijah Moore. That's why I show up every week.
You do show up every week, and that's why I'm always or that's because I'm an alcoholic. I'm not sure which. All right. Well, that's a good segue, Ed. You had a couple rants you pulled out of your ass last week.
Wait, I don't think Jessica answered the last
Jessica
one.
not
I
answered.
cut her off.
Shit.
I cut her off.
Jessica,
What?
I apologize.
What about Watson?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I spit on that. He's going to be
on
here
that,
no matter
Roger.
what. He's here
Oh,
for
you
another
did
3
spit on
years.
it.
Oh my God.
Who gives a shit if he's passive right now or not? He's going to be here anyway. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, it'll be. I'm going to ask you one. This is your answer. We're not going to go around the horn because we know it's going to be spit, chug, spit. But in your opinion, I'm getting drunk. Deshaun Watson will be here till the end of that contract.
Sure. Why not? I mean, it's a very Browns thing. He'd still be here, right? Or we pay him a lot and he leaves next year. That'd also be a Browns thing. Or he leaves mid-season. When does he have to be here until? For sure.
Well, he's signed for 3 more years, but that doesn't mean they couldn't trade him or they couldn't just cut him.
Right. They're not going to cut him. They're going to try to get something out of him, right? For giving him that much money. I mean, I hate to be all blasé about it, but what are we going to do about it? What's us bitching on the Dawg Chug going to do about Deshaun Watson actually playing? Nothing.
Well, hopefully this year he plays his ass off and vindicates.
I mean, I'd love to see it. But, I felt the same way about Baker Mayfield, and look what happened there. He's playing for another team and doing well.
I used to want him to fail because, I'm a cuck and just whatever when they brought him in.
Right.
But now I just want him to succeed so I can fucking give Roger the business. Fuck you.
Oh, I know. You're dying. That's the only reason I think you want Watson to succeed more
so
you can give it to me.
There's
Then
going
the
to be
Browns winning a Super Bowl.
every episode of Dawg Chug will have 20 minutes of me just going off on Roger.
What Andy's
I
going to
know.
do is he's going to start posting all pro Watson tweets to see if he can get Watson to follow him. And then he'll make sure he screenshots it and sends it to Roger in some way so Roger can see that he was blocked by Watson, but now he follows Andy. So.
I'm your biggest fan. Let's go. Come on, man. You got this, bro. You got this.
Ride before.
All right. Anyway, Ed, you had a couple rants last week. You retweeted them all. It was great. Everyone loves when you rant. So I'm going to give you an opportunity here. Why don't you go ahead and rant about whatever's on your mind right now? It could be, the reaction to Harrison Butker. It could be something about the Guardians, Cavs, whatever you want. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay. Do I have 20 seconds or do I have a little bit more than that?
I'll give you 25 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, look,
I love living guys.
I love living in America. America is full of choices that we all can make, and that's what makes us the greatest country in the world. But, just like with anything, there are consequences. And I think that with choices, I'll be real. I think if I'm going to a vending machine with you and you decide to get a Milky Way instead of a Snickers, I think there's something wrong with you. I think that if you get a Coke over a Pepsi, I tend to look at you differently. I think there are choices in life that kind of tell who a person is. And, one thing about America is that we have the choices of who to associate with. And so the next time I see you and you decide to get, like I said, a Milky Way when you should have got a Snickers, hey, I hope you have a great life, but I don't know you anymore.
Wow. Do you understand like the whole point of a rant is to get like fired up and intense?
Oh, you want me to? Can I have a take
pretty
two?
chill. That was the chillest rant I've ever
Can I have
heard
a
in my
take
whole
two,
life.
Andy? I need a take two.
I fell asleep during that.
Okay.
That was terrible.
Okay.
And by the way, like nobody gives a shit about Milky Way or Snickers. That was a dumb rant. Like obviously everyone likes Snickers, and I don't know what are you talking about?
What kind of savage would get a Milky Way over Snickers? Who would do that?
I don't know. Like
I would.
Oh.
I'd take a Milky Way over a Snicker. I'm not a big fan of the nougat.
Oh.
Okay.
Milky Way has
Milky Way.
It's the same
I'm a
candy
dreamer.
bar, but Snickers
Jessica,
has
don't worry
nuts
about
in
this.
it.
I got this. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. What kind of a madman is he?
All right. Would you like to?
I want to redeem myself.
Right, that was terrible. That was a D minus. Can you please? I want to get Roger back on because I think you feed off of his intensity. So maybe.
Okay.
All right. Whoop. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Let me have the controls.
Make kids not wussies anymore in America. I'm so sick of this. Andy, you're talking about preschool graduation. I'm talking about 8th grade graduation, even high school graduation. Oh my God, kids, you don't learn shit in school. Yes, these kids, I don't know, find Iraq on the map. They don't know shit. Ask them to change a tire. Ask them to write a check. Ask them, I don't know, how to use anything but their phone just for Snapchat, actually looking up stuff. And we had to go to the freaking library. Andy, when I had to do a report about tornadoes, I had to go to the freaking library, get encyclopedias that were probably 5 years outdated and write a report, basically plagiarizing, but whatever. I didn't have ChatGPT to just write it for me. These kids are not only spoiled, but they're stupid. So they're graduating. And guess what? Is the world better for it? Nope. Go back to school. And you know what? Like I said, use that tax money in Cleveland to build that freaking dome because kids are dumber than ever. And it doesn't matter. Throw bad money after dumb kids.
Wow. Wow. Hey, that's a hell of a lot better than the Milky Way Snickers shit. I'll tell you that much.
That made me hungry too. I want a Snickers.
Ed hating on the youth of this country, which is interesting because he's got youth in his family that he probably failed. Roger, now I'm going to give you the chance to rant. You can rant about whatever you want.
I can't rant off the top of my head.
Well, I'm sure you can think of something.
Just read it like Ed did.
I don't even. You know what? I won't because.
Hold on. Roger, you're an angry guy. You've got a lot of pent up anger in you. You spent some time in the can, so I want you just to like see what bubbles up. Just
it's why are you trying to get people upset?
I'm not trying to get you upset. I'm just
I'll tell you what
on this show.
I'll tell you what, this is Friday. I'm dealing with Friday. I'm sitting at work and I'm on the
You can rant against me that I'm a piece of shit for throwing this at you last
I'm ranting.
He is ranting.
Friday, I'm on computer at work, and all of a sudden my computer freezes up. My phone. I got somebody $1,500 tried to steal out of my bank account. Right, $1,500 in the middle of the night, foreign IP. So I get on the phone to my bank, and the first thing it's like, all we bank online. I can't go into a bank. Get on the bank, and it's hello, Mr. Roger, and I'm like, Mr. Roger. She tells me that they can't stop it. And I'm flipping out at this point. Man, I am losing my mind. So I'm on the computer and it starts like the screen locks on me. And you know me, I don't know anything about computing. So I got this woman on the phone and she don't understand English, or she barely understands English. And Andy, my whole everything, like when they computer, I want to get rid of everything. I don't want to be online. I want to disconnect. I'm going to come to your house and do Dawg Chug and sit in a stool next to you, and then I'll drive home. From now on, I want to disconnect from all of it.
All right. Okay.
Is that an option, Roger?
Yeah, you guys can all come over every week.
That's an option.
Guys,
okay,
what are you going to, like, somebody going to steal money out of my account? At that point, there was like, in the checking, there was like 300 left because like all the bills are already paid. Thank goodness. Why don't you go steal somebody who's got like money? What are you stealing my money for? I applaud your efforts. I'm not gonna, you want to just go. What do you go focus on people that have money? Leave me alone.
All right. Now, Jessica, since you are the guest, you've heard 2 rants. You get to judge.
Everything's a competition with Andy.
I don't even know why I didn't see this coming.
I know.
When he had
It
that
just spawns in his
How the fuck
game.
I thought he was gonna make me rant about something. I'm like, well,
Oh.
shit, I got nothing.
No, I
It
knew
would
you
just
were
be
gonna
about
try
work, and no one
halfway
wants
through.
to hear that. Man, Rogers is pretty weak. The Milky Way one was pretty weak, but the school one, I guess, was all right. If I had to pick the best ran, it was probably the school one.
All right, Ed wins.
From the guy who
Ed
has
outran
2
me.
people celebrating their little graduation.
I know.
right now.
I know, right. That doesn't look good. I
You saw
know.
that coming.
That's not good for me. But
Wow.
I don't want to be somebody that doesn't get what we advertise. And I believe in some of our promos that are longer than a CVS receipt put out by Roger when it comes to his X posting. Jessica, can you talk about the Tulsa Oilers and how their season's going? Because I do believe that we advertise that.
Yeah, the Tulsa Oilers. So, well, first of all, they're really fun to watch.
Okay.
It's about like watching the Browns sometimes, though, because they don't win all the time. But they've actually won more games this year than last season. So they're 3-5 right now. They're a lot of fun to watch. We've talked before about how I'm a defense person, love watching defense. We have this one guy on our team, my favorite player, number 5, Jordan Jones. He pretty much rock bottomed somebody like a couple weeks ago at a home game, which is awesome. He got kicked out right after that. Of course, they kicked him out of the game. But it was really fun to watch. Like, I can't be mad about that because arena football is a lot more fun. It's fun, first of all, that you can go, and it's affordable, which is also fun, and it's indoors, so it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, doesn't matter. But watching people catch the ball, falling over the side into the crowd, balls just flying all over the place, which sounded worse when I said it than it did in my head. So watching them, if the ball goes out of bounds, you get to keep it too, which is pretty cool. Now we have pretty good seats, so we're sitting about midfield, so like nothing ever comes where we're at, but it's still pretty awesome. I've enjoyed it a lot. We had season tickets last year. We've got season tickets again this year. It's just a lot of fun. And by having my son go, and he really just enjoys like hanging out and getting snacks from the snack bar more than anything. But he's at the games though, you know what I mean? And that's what's important to me, that he's there in that environment, watching the sports, trying to get him involved in it, getting him excited about it. So that part's exciting for me. So we got a lot of good players, of course. People are injured because that's what happens in sports. They get rock bottomed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty bad. But it wasn't our player that got rock bottomed, obviously. But so like our best wide receiver's out right now. He's injured, but like we've got, but like the turnaround on players is crazy. We've already got like our second quarterback this year. Last year we went through like
I like the Browns. I mean, they go through 5 a year.
Yeah,
so.
it's pretty crazy, like the turnaround on it. But part of what I think is awesome about it too is like these are guys who want to play football, right? Like that's their dream has been to play football, and they are playing like professionally. They're having this opportunity to play. So like for me, that's pretty awesome. So it's exciting to be able to go and do it too, and just be there in the environment. And we're loud, we're obnoxious. The people who have season tickets in front of us, pretty sure they sold their tickets because we're too loud. We got a cowbell, like we're obnoxious, loud, obnoxious fans. That's us. So it's fun, and it's something we can do as a family because my husband works nights, so like we don't always have a lot of opportunity to hang out. So so that in itself is awesome too. But I mean, and if you guys are ever need some entertainment on Saturday night, you can check the IFL YouTube channel.
I've watched.
And you can watch football on there. And
yeah, I've watched, and you were in the chat, you like told me where you were, and I can't see from where I'm sitting in my chair,
right.
But I've watched the game. But back when Cleveland had the team, the first time around, Cleveland had the Gladiators.
The Thunderbolts.
I'm sorry, it's the Thunderbolts. And a wide receiver a friend of mine, a guy I went to high school with at St. Ed's, actually played for them. And he was a wide receiver when I went to Ed's. And so I went to, I think I went to 2 games. I know I went to 1. I think I went to 2. But it is exciting. And I remember at that time, and it was back like when I was playing flag football, and I was, early 20s. I was like, man, I'd love to do that. I wish I could have done that. But my knee was gone. I was a flag football player by then, and older. in my late 20s. But man, what a great game! I wish we had it in Cleveland because Jack just finished his first season of flag, and he had a blast. He's going to play tackle football this fall. But I'd love to take my boys to something like that because the price, like you said, affordable.
Yeah.
And man, I can't. I take my boys to one Browns game, and it's you gotta plan that. You know what I mean? Where you could buy a season package like you guys did and enjoy a whole season of it.
8 games, 3 tickets.
Right.
You know what I mean? 3 tickets for 8 games is awesome. And it's a little more violent in a way because, like I said, you got the walls up, people getting slammed into the walls all the time, people cheering and yelling, fans grabbing the damn ball when they shouldn't be, stuff like that. But we are across, like if you're watching the game on the TV, the cameras are across from us, so we could generally be on TV at any time. We got pretty good seats for like midfield. So on YouTube, right, on YouTube.
50-yard indoor war. Yep.
Wow.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, the midfield is 25-yard line, so like we're on the 20-yard line. You know what I mean? Like we're
the
pretty much
bougie
there,
seats.
so.
You got the bougie seats.
Yeah, and it's still really affordable. Really affordable. So it's a lot of fun. We enjoy ourselves a lot.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. And sometimes Ed complains that I ask things that I don't make myself do. So I did prepare a rant.
Good.
That I'm gonna get into, but
but
Jessica's story, you just made me go. You made me think of something, and I realized this might be a better rant. So I'm gonna go with option B.
Audible. Andy's audible.
Nice.
Wow, audible ad lib too.
This is has to do a little bit with gladiators, kind of in an offbeat path kind of way, but basically. I got a buddy that I've known for a long time. I love the hell out of this guy. He's a good dude. But, I brought him a couple Browns games. I brought him and a family member to a Browns game. I went to a comedy show with him and his wife where I, invited them. I paid, whatever. I didn't do this because, I want him to, hook me up in his ways. But at the same time, I'm making an effort, right, to show I appreciate his friendship. And one day out of the blue, he invites me to a Gladiators game, which is great. I'll go hang out with you at the Gladiators. But he brought up 50 times during the initial ask throughout the day after you have invited me to things. So now I'm appreciative that I'm able to pay you back by taking you to a Gladiators game. And you know what? Fuck you. I love going to see the Gladiators. That's not what I'm talking about. It was fun. We had a great time. But come on. I took you to these premium things and you're taking me to the affordable option. I know, I know you have a lot of money. Can you please fucking hook me up? He takes other people to the Guardians games, Indians at the time. I know he went to a work thing with a bunch of Browns fans and he invited some people that I know. He didn't invite me. He takes me to a fucking Gladiators game. Fuck you piece of shit.
Andy, wow.
Yeah, I got a little.
I want to know what his first rant would have been because that was.
You know what, man? I get it, man. I get it.
Fucking Gladiators game. Yeah. Oh, I'm going over the wall. Fuck you.
He's not the friend that sent the Christmas tree, the Browns tree.
No. Those are not connected.
Not the same guy. All right. I didn't think so.
All right. Well, this has been a fun episode of the Dawg Chug. Does anyone have anything else they want to finish with, end with, add? I don't want to cut everybody off.
I don't know. We're going to be in Strongsville. Brownlee Lookouts. Bulldog's going to be on the mound again. And, man, I love baseball. 14-year-olds going after it, man. They play to win. And it's fun. So that's what we're doing.
All right. Do you want to queue up the preview the next series the Guardians have?
No, I don't.
We're playing the Angels.
I don't have it. Oh, yeah, we
He's
do
like,
have the Angels.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, no. I just I had too much to drink. You know what? The Guardians are no joke. The Guardians are right now, man. They're just playing out of their minds. My big thing is baseball. I have them slated to lose another 71 games this year. So I don't want people that
Another
people are going to
71.
lose their mind. They're going to drop 3 of 4. They're going to drop 7 of 9 down the road. Baseball's long. June is not even June yet. So when they do drop a couple games in a row here or there, and don't lose your mind, man. Don't lose your mind. This is a young, talented team. Just keep the faith, and this team's going to be good this year, next year, all the way through to 2027, I believe. So just enjoy the ride, man. Enjoy the ride.
So, Roger, you have us at 77 and 91 losses.
I don't know. I just off the top. This is what I said a couple of weeks ago. I had them. People were freaking out like in April, and I'm like, hey, I got them losing 75 games. Slow down, whatever,
When are you going to revisit your projections?
I don't know. We got to have Chuck on. Chuck's got to be on. And there's got to be a guard Chuck. Because where was my prediction? Do you remember? Because I was drinking that night, I think.
Aren't you drinking most nights?
Yeah, we do drink.
Wednesday nights. Hey, when I was a kid, they used to send me to AA, right? Because my uncle was in AA. He'd always get me out of trouble, get me out of jail, get me out of trouble. And so the judge didn't know what to do with me, and he'd make me go with my uncle. And the Wednesday nights was the home group. And that was the night I had to be at a meeting every Wednesday night back into my 20s, like when I was in trouble all the time. And isn't it? It's like ironic. Wednesday night's the only time I'm hammered on Wednesday nights. And it was like the night the courts used to make me go to AA back like 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I think there's something beautiful in that.
And I didn't even drink. I wasn't like even an alcoholic. They didn't know what to do with me. It's just like to keep track of me.
Wow.
Wait, how much alcohol is in the beers you're drinking tonight? 9.5%?
I had two. It was 9.5. I had two 9.5s. Yeah.
You're sitting there saying the courts, you're not an alcoholic. They don't realize.
Well, it's all I drink all week. I haven't had anything to drink since last Wednesday.
Andy, I want to speak for the Dawg Chug. I know sometimes.
So
I want to
Wednesday
say
night's
this.
the only night I drink.
All right. Ed, you have the floor.
Yes, like I said, this goes out from the Dawg Chug, and I think that you guys would agree with the sentiment. But everybody this weekend, there's 3 Fs. I know kids are graduating, but there's 3 Fs I want everybody to kind of concentrate on. Family, friends, and food. Happy Memorial Day to everybody out there.
Yeah. Well,
Thank
Memorial
you
Day,
for all the people that died for us to live in the greatest country, for us to be able to spend that time with our family, friends, and good food. Fire up those grills. The unofficial kickoff to summer is here, and the Dawg Chug will be coming strong all summer long up until Browns kickoff. So stay with us, 10 p.m. Wednesdays.
all the way up to the World Series.
There it is.
All right. Thank you, Ed, for that. Everyone have a happy Memorial Day. I'll be playing a poker tournament on Memorial Day, so I'll be doing none of that. But
That sounds off-brand.
Well, Mother's Day, Memorial Day, maybe there's something to that with the M's. There you
go. Anyway, it's been a great episode of the Dawg Chug. Drink if you got them. Go Browns.
Browns.
Guardians, Cavs. Go
Oilers.
Go
Buckeyes.